Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for February 6, 2024. Please remember to leave a comment, like, and share. And in the news this evening, PNP condemns JLP councillor's altercation with a man in Orange, citing intimidation and assault. JLP councillor claims self-defense. Labeling a video clip showing an altercation between a man clad in orange and a councillor from the Jamaica Labour Party as an act of intimidation and assault, the People's National Party says the incident violates the principles of democracy. In a statement on Tuesday, Shadow Minister of Citizen Security, Peter Bunting, condemned the actions of the JLP councillor, who has since been identified as Dean Jones. Jones was captured pulling his firearm during the altercation with the man in orange before others intervened. In his statement, Bunting said, over the last 48 hours, Jones and his accompanying thugs have been carrying out acts of intimidation and assault that not only violate the principles of democracy, but also pose a grave threat to the safety and the security of our citizens. Bunting outlined that prior to the incident captured on video, another altercation unfolded at the Trinityville School on Sunday, where a peaceful PNP workers' meeting was in progress. Bunting alleged that Dean Jones, accompanied by 3 carloads of JLP supporters, engaged in provocative and intimidating actions aimed at disrupting the democratic process. The statement said a report of that incident was filed with the police. It went on further to highlight that the altercation captured on video took place in Springfield, St. Thomas on Monday, and alleges that the scuffle was a result of Jones entering the premises of the man in orange, later identified as Wayne Walker. In this shocking event, Dean Jones confronted Wayne Walker, demanding the removal of an orange shirt and armband associated with the PNP. The situation escalated to violence as Jones and his thugs, dressed in green, assaulted Walker. In an alarming turn of events, Jones brandished a firearm, further escalating the tension. Even when Walker complied, stooping down with hands raised, the assailants continued to beat and kick him, the statement read. Bunting, a former Minister of National Security, urged the Jamaica Constabulary Force to act swiftly and thoroughly in their investigation. I condemn these heinous acts in the strongest possible terms. Violence and intimidation have no place in our political discourse. Such a behavior underscores the democratic values we hold dear and threatens the safety of our citizens. The opposition is also calling on the High Command, through Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey, to keep the public continually updated on the investigations.
The opposition condemns these heinous acts in the strongest possible terms. Violence and intimidation have no place in our political discourse, and it was hoped that this was put behind us decades ago. I'm calling on the JCF to swiftly and thoroughly investigate these incidents, holding those responsible accountable for these criminal actions. The opposition is calling on the High Command, through DCP Fitzbailey, to keep the public continually updated on these investigations in his usual forthright manner. We're urging all political actors to prioritize a peaceful electoral process, and we hope that we will see a return to civility and respect for the rule of law in Trinityville and beyond. I'm also calling on the Prime Minister and the Minister of Local Government to immediately remove Jones as a candidate for the JLP. Otherwise, the signal they will be sending is that his behavior is acceptable, and it must be implicit encouragement for similar actions across Jamaica.
Meanwhile, lawyers for Jones, in a statement on Tuesday, said their client was physically attacked by persons unknown to him, causing him to sustain injuries while he was conducting business. The letter stated that Jones was in imminent fear of his life. The letter was signed by attorneys at law Alexander Shaw and Trevor Koff. Aware of the mounting threat to his person, our client took defensive action to de-escalate the situation. A police report was also reportedly filed. Describing the incident as a very traumatic one for their client, the attorneys have since advised the public to respect their client's privacy at this time and to refrain from politicizing the matter. Prosecution fails to have conspiracy to murder charge in Beachy Stout trial amended. Judge Chester Stamp refused an application by prosecutor Luke Cook to have the indictment in the Beachy Stout and Oscar Barnes murder trial amended. The prosecutor wanted the indictment to reflect that Everton Beachy Stout MacDonald allegedly conspired with Denverlin Bubble Minot to kill his wife, Tonya MacDonald, in 2020. Cook also wanted the indictment to reflect that Minot then conspired with Barnes to carry out the murder. Cook was seeking to have Justice Stamp accept his proposal for amendment. However, Stamp agreed with defense lawyers representing both accused in the Home Circuit Court murder trial. Justice Stamp refused the application, agreeing with defense lawyers that amending it could be prejudicial to the accused. Stamp then instructed the jury to officially return a not guilty verdict on the charge of conspiracy to murder. Judge Stamp ruled on Monday that there was no evidence showing that MacDonald conspired with Barnes to kill Tonya. MacDonald and Barnes are still before the court on the murder charge. Man shot during attempted robbery in St. Catherine remanded. A man who was shot during an attempted robbery of a delivery truck and was subsequently disarmed was remanded today. The case against the 33-year-old Michael Smart, who is answering charges of wounding with intent, assault with intent to rob, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition, was heard in the St. Catherine Parish Court today and is subsequently transferred to the gun court for mention on February 26. Smart was remanded by Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale. The allegations are that about 11 a.m. on January 12, Smart, who was armed with a gun, along with two accomplices, attempted to rob a delivery truck. A struggle ensued during which the gun went off, injuring Smart and one of the truck's sidemen. The men managed to disarm Smart. It was later handed over to the police and a formal report was made. An investigation was launched and Smart was arrested and subsequently charged. He is represented by attorney-at-law Jean Williams. Lower House passes amendments to Political Ombudsman Interim Act. Despite a heated debate on Tuesday afternoon, the act to amend the Political Ombudsman Interim Act and to provide for connected matters was passed in the House of Representatives. The law passed at the committee stage without amendments. It was passed amid a sharp rejection by the opposition and a back and forth between government and opposition members. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck, who tabled the bill, hit back at the opposition's decision to withhold its support during last Tuesday's sitting of the House. Opposition leader Mark Golding last week argued that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica should not assume the roles of the Office of the Political Ombudsman. He said this would change the independent nature of the ECJ, an important part of its mandate. But Minister Chuck defended the act in the House of Representatives, contending that the ECJ has in the past functioned as an intervening body for political matters. The Justice Minister also criticized the opposition for not previously rejecting the bill, which he said outlined the proposed functions when it was drafted by the Parliamentary Commission in 2022. A letter outlining the amendments was addressed to Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the opposition leader for review and comments.
On November the 10th, they're reminded. And who responded, Mr. Chairman? One, Senator Peter Bunting. I have no objection. I would urge the executive speedily consider the recommendations of the committee so that there will not be a protracted period between the departure of the Ombudsman and the successor arrangements. I don't know if Senator Peter Bunting was acting on his own. No, he wasn't. I don't know if the letter was received by leader of the opposition business, Philip Caldwell. It was sent to him. And that is why up to last week, Monday, not one member of the opposition were complaining because we were in collaboration. So wait, we're not united. We're not united.